$438 billion in a single quarter, 22 deals over $10 billion. The mega deal is officially back.
Is it back, or is big tech just panic buying AI startups before regulators wake up?
Oh, come on, you can't write off a 155% jump in deal value as just panic. Eli Lilly dropped $10 billion alone.
Because they're terrified of their patent cliffs. But sure, pop the banker champagne. Let's look at what's actually driving this Q1 tape. The rundown.
$438 billion in a single quarter. I am officially retiring my bear market sweater.
Don't put it in storage just yet. Yes, Q1 hit a 5-year high. Yes, deal volume is up 155% from last year. But if you actually look at the WTW data, 4 of the 6 biggest transactions are just pure AI panic buying.
Panic buying? Come on, it is an arms race. Big tech is just grabbing the talent and the compute before regulators wake up.
Exactly. Which is why the antitrust lawyers are already circling. And it is not just tech. Look at biopharma. Eli Lilly single-handedly deployed almost $10 billion across 3 acquisitions in Q1 alone.
They're playing Monopoly and buying all the green properties. I respect it. But we need to hit the rundown before we get bogged down in big pharma. Speaking of monopolies, Keurig Dr Pepper just secured 96.22% of JDE Peet's.
96.22. You have to love the precision. Why not just buy the whole thing?
That last 3.78% is holding out for free K-Cups for life. Honestly, it is a massive coffee consolidation play. We will definitely need to watch the integration filings on that one.
Meanwhile, QXO finalized its buyout of Kodiak Building Partners from Court Square, $2.25 billion.
A solid exit for Court Square. An inflection is taking a $500 million swing at Marioff, the Finnish fire protection group.
Very niche. I like it. Oh, and Cyclerion Therapeutics is doing an all-stock merger with Corsana Biosciences. They are keeping the Corsana name, which is probably smart given Cyclerion's recent chart.
Brutal, but true. Look, the mood right now in the US and Europe is pure champagne. Deals are flowing. Financial conditions are easing. Everyone is happy.
Not everyone. South Korea's deal pipeline is completely frozen. Geopolitical stress is killing their Q1 numbers. It is a ghost town over there.
Fair point. Global market, local problems. But let's pivot to the deal that actually made me sit up and text you at 6 this morning. Brookfield Wealth Solutions just dropped $3.2 billion on Just Group,
adding 700,000 customers and bumping their global insurance AUM to a casual $180 billion.
It is a classic Brookfield asset grab. Let's pull apart the structure on this one because the way they are funding it is fascinating. The big one, $438 billion in one quarter. I actually had to refresh the terminal this morning because I thought the feed was broken.
It's not broken. 155% jump from last year. We had 22 deals clear the $10 billion mark. It's a 5-year high, Nate.
The bankers in New York and London are absolutely popping champagne right now. You can practically hear the corks. Easing financial conditions plus total FOMO equals a very good bonus season.
Well, everywhere except South Korea. Their deal pipeline is basically a ghost town right now with all the geopolitical risk. But yes, the US and Europe are partying like it's 2021.
And we know exactly who's buying the drinks. It's the AI arms race. Analysts at WTW put out a note saying AI capabilities drove 4 of the 6 biggest transactions this quarter. It's a classic land grab.
See, I'm looking at the timing and I see something else. I don't think this is just strategic vision. I think it's sheer panic.
Panic? You drop $10 billion when you're confident, not when you're panicking?
You do it when you know the antitrust window is closing. Big tech is scrambling to buy up these capabilities right now, today, before regulators figure out how the tech actually works. The whispers in Washington are already starting. They're trying to beat the clock.
Okay, fair point. But even if the regulators wake up, the checks are already clearing. Speaking of clearing checks, can we talk about Eli Lilly? They single-handedly deployed nearly $10 billion across 3 major acquisitions in just 3 months. They're treating the biopharma sector like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
They really are. But honestly, the deal that actually made me sit up and read the footnotes wasn't AI, and it wasn't pharma.
Oh, come on. You're going to talk about the annuity structure again, aren't you?
I am talking about Brookfield Wealth Solutions. They just finalized the $3.2 billion buyout of Just Group.
Maya, we have 22 $10 billion mega deals, and you want to talk about life insurance.
It's brilliant, Nate. Look at the math. They just bolted on 700,000 customers. It pushes their global insurance assets under management to roughly $180 billion. It's a quiet, highly efficient pension grab. While everyone is distracted by the AI shiny objects, Brookfield is just steadily vacuuming up permanent capital.
Vacuuming up permanent capital is a very banker way to say they bought a bunch of retirement accounts. But you're right. The scale is massive. They're building an empire in the boring stuff.
The boring stuff pays the bills.
Unlike my coffee habit, which reminds me, we need to talk about Keurig Dr Pepper taking a 96.22% stake in JDE Peet's. That's basically a total takeover of the global coffee sector.
I'm genuinely curious how the regulators are going to look at that integration.
We'll dig into the coffee monopoly right after this quick break. Voices. I was reading the WTW analyst note this morning, and they are basically saying this entire $438 billion boom is just an AI arms race. 4 of the top 6 mega deals were purely AI land grabs.
See, I read that exact same note, and I think they are totally misreading the room.
How? The numbers are right there. You love the numbers.
I love the numbers, Nate, but the analysts are calling AI the primary catalyst. It is not a catalyst, it is a panic buy. These tech giants are rushing to scoop up capabilities before antitrust regulators figure out how the technology actually works.
Okay, the regulatory shadow is real. The whispers about tech scrutiny are everywhere right now. But you cannot tell me it is just panic. Look at the premiums they are paying. You do not drop those multiples just to beat a regulatory clock.
You absolutely do if you think the M&A door is about to slam shut forever.
I still say it is genuine strategic FOMO. But fine, let us ignore tech for a second. The other big quote floating around is about Eli Lilly. Market watchers are pointing out they just deployed nearly $10 billion across 3 major acquisitions in Q1 alone. They are single-handedly dominating biopharma.
Now that is a strategy I actually respect. No flashy AI buzzwords to pump the stock, just aggressively buying up the hard science while everyone else is distracted.
Aggressively is the right word. $10 billion is not a subtle move. That is walking into the club and buying the entire bar.
Sure, but at least someone is having fun. The US and Europe are popping champagne over these deal volumes, but if you look at South Korea, the mood is completely miserable.
Yeah, the geopolitical uncertainty over there is brutal. Their deal pipeline is just a ghost town right now.
Exactly. Capital flows where the friction is lowest, and right now that is frantic US tech buyouts and pharma monopolies.
Speaking of capital flowing, we need to talk about Brookfield dropping $3.2 billion to swallow up Just Group.
Oh, I found some fascinating things in those integration filings. Spill the tea.
I'm telling you, the group chats are absolutely panicked right now. Big tech corporate development teams are basically doing supermarket sweep in the AI aisle before the regulators block the doors.
It's entirely reactionary. Look at the data from WTW. 4 of the 6 largest transactions this quarter are just AI capability grabs. They're buying first and figuring out the integration plan never.
Honestly, can you blame them? If you don't lock up that talent and IP right now, you're dead in the water. I'd be writing those checks too.
You're sounding exactly like the bankers trying to justify these multiples, Nate. Oh, come on. Paying billions for a team of 15 engineers and a decent language model isn't a strategy. It's corporate FOMO.
Corporate FOMO that just drove a $438 billion mega deal boom. I'll take FOMO over whatever's happening in South Korea right now. Have you seen their Q1 pipeline?
Yeah, it's practically a ghost town. The geopolitical anxiety over there is completely freezing the market while the US and Europe are out here popping champagne.
Speaking of popping champagne and writing massive checks, can we talk about Eli Lilly? They're just casually dropping $10 billion across 3 deals in 3 months.
single-handedly keeping biopharma bankers in their Patagonia vests. But that's exactly where the antitrust whispers are getting really loud. You can't consolidate a sector that aggressively without the FTC noticing.
Wait, really? You think Lilly gets blocked? They're buying pipeline, not direct competitors.
Regulators don't care about that distinction anymore. They're looking at the sheer scale of the shopping spree, just like they're going to look at Keurig Dr Pepper suddenly owning 96% of JDE Peet's.
Man, 96.2% to be exact. That's not an acquisition. That's a hostile takeover of the entire office break room.
Exactly, which is why we need to look at what happens when the regulators actually wake up and start reading these integration plans. Tomorrow's radar.
I'm setting an alert for the Keurig Dr Pepper filings tomorrow. They just locked up 96.2% of JDE Peet's.
Honestly, why even leave the 3.8% floating out there? Just buy the whole coffee shop.
It's a classic squeeze out. But the real drama tomorrow isn't coffee. It's the antitrust chatter. Regulators are finally waking up to the AI arms race.
Are they though? 4 of the 6 biggest deals this quarter were pure AI land grabs. Regulators are still hitting snooze while tech buys everything.
Oh, come on. You don't think the FTC is sweating Eli Lilly dropping nearly $10 billion across 3 deals in Q1 alone?
Eli, Lilly is biopharma, Nate. You just said tech AI. Pick a lane.
Hey, everything is an AI deal if you squint hard enough, even drug discovery.
Spoken like a true banker trying to justify a multiple.
Always. We'll see who's right when those pre-market filings drop tomorrow.
I'll have my coffee ready. The Keurig kind, obviously. Catch you next time.